Are we living in the Matrix? Is the universe just one big simulation? What if everything we thought we knew was nothing more than virtual reality? Ponder the answers to these questions and more on Glitch in the Matrix with me, Doug Rizzio, and my next guests, Milagro and Narek. Hey guys.
Hey,
All right, so the way this is going to work is I'm going to start interviewing Milagro first, and then Narek is going to play his music, and then the three of us are going to have a conversation about living in the Matrix.
Sounds
Uh,
awesome.
so, Narek, you can just hang back for a while, and let's get
Sure
this show
thing.
on the road. So, Milagro, I want to know, who are you, where are you from, and who are you as an artist?
I'm a person, at least uh, until I know. I'm from Argentina, Buenos Aires. I live in like the suburbs of Buenos Aires, in a place called Temperley. Now going. I'm here and there between like the central part of Buenos Aires and here the suburbs. And who am I as an artist?
Who's the
That's like
man behind the mask?
um, I'm like a very, I don't know, untidy person that keeps that kind of workflow in everything I do. I'm not like super tidy. I have like my methods, but when I reach a method, I normally try to break it. It's something that makes me like grow, because I kind of get bored. uh, I do something, I have it for like 20-25 minutes. I may work on that for like 6 months, 1 year or so, and when it's done, it's like, okay, it's fucking done. I'm not doing this anymore. Let's move on to another thing. And that's something that I try to keep in everything that I work with. Because if not, as I said before, I get like too bored or frustrated. And the thing that happens to me with things that I had already done, it's that I want to like manipulate it again, make it all over again, and that like gets me super crazy in a way that it's not sane, so to speak. So uh, the who am I as an artist? It's like that, the constant reinventation of everything I do. If I work with video and that and on one kind of video, I try to like get away from that as far as possible to get into another thing or something like that. I don't know if it's clear, but in my head it's clear.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So it sounds like you really like challenging yourself as an
Yes.
artist, and once you're done with something, you're never satisfied with it for long. And I think that's what makes great artists is really wanting to do something and then kind of hating it once you're done with it. Hating it so much that you want to make the next thing even better.
Yes,
And
yes,
I
yes, yes.
I don't think you can be a real artist without being a little crazy.
Okay. Yes.
So that's okay. So I wanted to ask you, and you already told me this before, but um, so did you make the mask that you're wearing, or the quilted pattern in the background? Is that
It's a
another one of your
pattern.
artistry?
This is all my grandma's work.
Ah,
I was working on a mask at first. I don't know if I have it here. Wait, 1 second.
it's all part of the show. We're doing it live.
I have the prototype here. I
The
know that it's
prototype?
sorry. I have the prototype here, and it's this. When I was making it, my grandma saw me doing it. She had
Oh,
a nose
so that
and
was
everything.
something that you did?
Yes, this is something that I'm doing right now, but
Ah,
it's been almost like few months,
well, that's
and
cool.
it goes like this. And when she found out, she told me like, "Oh, you're fucking crazy! What are you doing? A mask, a mask, a mask!" And I told her like, "Can you do me a mask?" And she said, "All right, I don't know how, but I will find out how." And she came out with this, and then she came out with this.
That one's cool too.
This is for eating,
Yeah, you could probably
drinking,
breathe a
and
little better with that one.
smoking. But this one is just almost for playing. When I play, I use this. I prefer to use this.
So
No mouse,
that's
just eyes.
so. Why do you wear a mask? Is it part of your artistic persona?
I would say so. Um, my personality may change if I use the mask or not, but
Hmm.
mostly it's because I don't care for people to see my face. I don't want it in, maybe in a philosophical way. Maybe when we reach to the "Are we living in the Matrix" part, I will expand on this. But
Sure.
I don't care to for people to know who is doing what I do. I care mostly for what I am doing. I want you to see what I'm doing, and I don't know. It makes everything more curious to me. Also,
Yeah, I think
maybe
it.
after a show, I would go and ask someone without the mask. What did you think of the visuals? Just for to have a real reaction and something more sincere and away from the um, artsy fartsy stuff. I love your shape. Da, 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 da." No, I prefer someone to tell me it was cool, but it got my head upside down or anything.
Mm,
But also, it's I always get in the contradiction of I'm wearing a mask so people don't know who I am, but I'm also and also wearing a mask to like be more away from that concept of person and everything. But also wearing a mask is the thing that gets attention. So you get like took ah, uh, a way of looking at you different. People looks at you because you're in a band and there's one guy with a mask. So it's
yeah,
like a contradiction, and I always get into that, but I always say like, okay, um I'm not getting into it.
that's really interesting because it's a little bit of a paradox because
Yes,
you want to highlight your art and not make it about you as a person, which I think is a sign of a true artist. But at the same time, the mask calls even more attention to you in a
yes,
different way.
yes.
So I think that's really interesting.
A paradox. That's the word.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about maybe paradoxes and the subject of living in the matrix a little later. But I wanna know, why do you like glitch art above other media? Like, how did you get started as an artist? And were you always into this sort of thing, or did you reach that a little later in life?
I studied cinema to become like a movie director or something. And when I ended my scholarship, my when I got my title, I was like, "Fuck, I don't want to do movies or anything like that." I was like,
Oh no.
what do I do? I like music. I grew up like watching MTV, Much Music, and
Mm,
uh, video clips from bands, and not so much movies. I started watching movies more as a teenager, but when I was a kid, I was always looking at music videos. So when I ended up my career or that thing, I was like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And then I found out that see, I would love to do visuals, live visuals for bands. I thought that it was like my philosophy almost in a nutshell. So I started with Resolum, doing gigs with a band called Hungria, that it's also from Temperley, and then with another band, Outlaw. And then when I got as I said before, bored of the software. I was like, okay, I know this. I know how to use everything in this software. What do I do from now? Then I got into uh, analog video, and I was like, okay, this might be something. And I did my first dirty mixer, the one that it's like this. And I started with that, and then another thing, and then another thing, and then the world like started becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. The analog video stuff. Anything can be something that makes a glitch. Even a VCR when you kick it, or I don't know, or a magnet or anything. So I started with
Sure.
that, and then it got like more attention of me, and then I was like, okay, this is my shit. I got into video synthesis as well, but I really love video synthesis, but glitch is like the thing that the to me it's a game. I'm always playing, and it's always fun, and I never get bored. And you never ever 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 get the same results. So that's also something that applies to my kind of philosophy, that it's at the moment in this place and it never exists again.
Yeah, that's
um
really, yeah, you never, a glitch is inherently random, and once it happens, there's no guarantee it will ever happen the same way.
exactly. And as I said before, if I have something done and it's physically in some place as a video on YouTube or on a TV or anything, I want to modify it. Oh, that's shitty. I see my stuff and oh, that's shitty. But if I do it live, I enjoy it in the moment, and then I don't know what the fuck happened in that moment later. I cannot find out unless someone recorded it. But if someone recorded it, it's like, okay, thank you, but I
But
don't
no
give it
thanks.
like that. Yeah, I don't give it like that much of attention. To me, it's like the moment. It's the most important thing of what I do. That moment, that place, and yeah, I can revive it looking at videos, but that moment and that feeling and that results are unique, unique moments, and that's to me super fun because I cannot like get overwhelmed of the results or anything. It's like it's that moment that's done, and now I'm done. That
Yeah,
kind of.
I'm starting to understand how you work, and it sounds very unique compared to a lot of other artists, and your thought process behind everything.
Yes, it's like going super fast. But not thinking much about it at the moment. That it's like playing. To me, it's like a game.
Well, as long as
Uh,
you're having fun, you know.
yes,
Sometimes
yes,
it's easy to take it so seriously, but
that,
what's the point? You want to have a good time.
yes, yes. That's the thing. I don't know. In English, you say play. You play live, and you
Yeah,
play a game.
that's
And
interesting. Is it different in Spanish?
yes, in Spanish, it's like tocar en vivo, like
Like to
touching.
touch?
Yes, tocar en vivo, and then playing a game like jugar.
Oh,
But
so
you
they're
never say yo juego en vivo. You never say it. You say you play live. You never say it like a game. It never sounds like a game. It sounds like yo toco en vivo, like a more professionalistic super thing.
oh, that's interesting. I wonder if the language difference frames your associations differently too. Like,
Yeah,
do you think that people take music and art more seriously where you are for that reason? Just because of the different way of thinking about it and
I
talking
don't
about it?
know. Maybe like not being aware of it, but it can be. I don't know. Um,
Yeah, like maybe at a subconscious level.
yeah, yeah. But I don't know. To me, like playing, it's playing. I may from now on I may start saying I will jugar. I will play live.
Change the language.
Yes, 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 yes,
I like that. That's a great aspiration to have.
yes.
So we've got to wrap up in a few minutes, but we still have a little more time. So where are you right now, personally and professionally? And what projects are you working on, or do you plan to work on in the future?
Okay. Now, personally, I'm in physically. I'm in my mom's house because I have better internet than in my house. And personally, I'm in a moment that mm, I feel like everything is going to have a kickstart. I don't know if that's the word, but I had like an impasse from, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years. No, 2 years more or less. And then and on the end of last year, I started having like more gigs, more invitations, more people that came to ask for my stuff. And I got like, I don't know, my projects always revolve around music. I'm always
Hmm.
like pair to pair, and well, that's how I am personally. And in my personal project, let's say, I'm now looking for a way to record music artists. I have like a list of 10 artists from around me mostly. And the thing is that I want to record them live in my house or in their places where they rehearse or compose or anything. And then the thing is like getting the material all into a VHS. But before getting into a VHS, the thing would be that I will have the image glitch and the sound glitch. I found out that if you record something on a VCR, on a VHS, through the signal, like sound and video, and you glitch the video like breaks also the sound of the tape.
Hmm.
And I found it, and I was like, "Fuck, this is." I have the combination of my two favorite things in a VHS, and it sounds great and awful at the time, and it's watchable, and also it's awful and great at the time. So my next project will be that the how can I say it? I want to work the other way. I always
Hmm.
work first the music, then the video, and then and now I want to work like the music and the video all together, all compressed in a VHS. I
Awesome.
don't know if it's clear.
No, I think that's perfectly clear. And I want to, before we run out of time for this segment, can I add your video that I brought up to the stream so that maybe people can see what kind of stuff you do?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can. Here we go. Can you hear that?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So we'll just play this for another minute, and then we'll move on. That was awesome. Before we move on, can you let people know where they can find you online?
Yes, you can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitch. I have a web page that it's like milagrodecatamarca.com, .com, milagrodecatamarca.com. I'm also on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, almost everything, but mostly Instagram. And yes, on Instagram is where you can like see like the experimental things mostly. It's not
Gotcha.
that I everything I do I put it on Instagram. It's like more like okay, I did this a few months ago. See, watch.
All right, go check it out, everyone. Thanks, Milagro. And stay on, but mute yourself if you don't mind.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty.
Okay, on to our next guest. What's up?
Hey, Doug.
Are you ready to play your music? And
Sure. I
could
just
you
want to say,
introduce-
Milagro, it was really nice. It was really interesting. I loved what you did with the TV sets, the last video. That was awesome.
You want to? Can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from and what you do really quickly?
I'm Narek. I'm from Armenia. I do music. I do some. I wouldn't call it art, but yeah, again, it's
I
in the
would.
glitchy style of it. Yeah, so I hope I can do audio visuals as well soon enough. I'm learning how to connect them together. I do think that's the future, honestly. Because, yeah, standalone, they're great, but together I think it's just an otherworldly experience, and that's what I'm aiming for.
Definitely, I think you're halfway there already because you already have great
Thanks.
music and you already put together some visuals. You just need someone to splice them together.
Yeah, or learn it myself.
Exactly, and I think you have the capability.
Thanks, man.
All right, so I'm gonna add those visuals to the stream, and why don't you start playing your music too? I'll let you know when I hear it. All right. Wow, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Great job.
And so, hope you all enjoyed it.
Yeah. So that was Narek, also known as Altar.
Yeah.
And even though the visuals weren't intended to be perfectly aligned with the
Yeah.
music, I thought it really fit well. It just
Right?
seemed like it was natural. Everything was timed so perfectly.
I actually tried something with those visuals a couple of months before, but like I had to jump from computer to computer. One was using Resolume with those with that content, and the other was Ableton, the software I'm using.
Mm.
So it was a little hard to perform live.
Well, you did a great job. I'm really glad that it all worked out.
So,
So, where can people find you online?
SoundCloud is where I post all of this experimental stuff, which I really enjoy because it gives a lot of freedom. It gives a lot of space to express yourself in the sense that I am spending a lot of time constructing these sounds. Like there's a lot of sound design involved, but there's this entire like I can spend more time and more days and not feel like I'm doing work when I'm deconstructing those sounds.
Mm.
Like first I get something intact and then yeah, I start to play around with it and it gets a little out of hand. I tend to get really focused on details and quite obsessive actually, rather focused. Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
it gets a little out of hand and like I forget where I started from and why it was why I began that project in the first place. But at the end of it, like when I feel like it's enjoyable, I just send it to SoundCloud and yeah, it's another side. Like when I post it on SoundCloud, it's very nice to know that you can have like 10 or 20 people listening to it and they like honestly enjoy it. So like I'm not doing any promotion, I'm not trying to market it, I'm not trying to make it plausible or enjoyable to the ear. I'm just making what came out of my fun from experimenting, as Milagro said.
Yeah.
Same with the visual stuff.
Yeah, it's all about, it seems like that's a good platform where it's all about the audio.
Yeah. And I mean, you could promote it, but like I just use my own social media platforms where it's friends or art enthusiasts, and yeah, I like it that way.
Awesome. Well, still learning how to transition into this next segment, but now that we've seen a little bit of glitch art and heard a little bit of glitch music, let's talk about glitching out in the Matrix. So what do you guys think? Narek, I want to give you the platform first since we heard a lot from Milagro before. Are we living in the Matrix? What do you think?
The way you put it at first sounded like it's some kind of like it's like surfing or something. Like we're gliding on the. Are we living? I believe that a really vast proportion of our lives is encoded either by ourselves or our environments, mostly our environments. But I also believe in the power to like stand up for yourself and try to break those patterns and construct new ones instead. Um, I think it's a continual process. It doesn't happen overnight. People struggle through that. It's not easy. Um, but I think it's possible. I think you can break free from all the madness, from all the control that's being pushed onto you.
So, would you say that you think your interpretation is that we live in the Matrix in a sociological sense, like in terms of power structures, or can you elaborate more on that?
Power structures and our own thought patterns, like the way we think, the way we act on those thoughts. It's not just the power structures. You can't just go on and blame the government or I don't know, Facebook, for that. You have to realize what is it that you're eating. Like it's not just them feeding it to you. It's like you're going for the bait. So what's happening there in the background? I'm trying to focus on that also in my own life, and I hope a lot of people go through that path because it's easy to find a target and say like, yeah, they did this and that's why it's happening to me. But it's not about you. It's like it's easy bait, and if you take it, you take it. It's being put out there definitely, but I wouldn't go as far to say that it's like it's like a dogma or it's indoctrinated in some way. It happens throughout our lives, and we accept some part of that reality, and we don't accept some of it.
Milagro, what's your perspective?
I happen to think something alike, Narek. Um, I think it's something that to me also, we already live in a matrix. As he said, something that I hadn't taken into account was like that everything is coded, and it's like fuck, everything is coded. Everything is coded. Um, but also, I'd like to add that we are like surrounded by some kind of matrix, not in a coded way or anything, more in like a media matrix, bombardment of info. You go out to the street and you get like tung tung. Come on, it's like that the movie Carpenter's movie. They live.
They Live?
Yeah,
Great movie.
obey, buy, power, that kind of stuff. And with the media rising and the technology getting like every time smaller and powerfuler, I don't know what's the word, more powerful. Um, I think that we are like also getting into a kind of a matrix that we accept to live in, but sometimes
Doesn't matter if you accept it or not.
yeah, yeah, because you're walking down the street and there's a camera looking at you,
Yeah.
and there, at that point, someone may know where you are, what you are doing, and where you are at that specific moment. I mean, it also works as something that provides security, you know, but also provides like no privacy. So that's, to me, it's like the matrix, like the losing of privacy, kind of a way of why I use this. And also, I don't know, but you also have to cope with it, because if you're an artist and you want to, I don't know, promote what you do or anything, you have to go on a social media and promote, hey, I'm doing this. Because if you are like a ermitaño,
Yeah, that's a
I
nice
think,
That's
one.
the right word.
that doesn't go out, but you may be, I don't know, you may be Aphex Twin today, but if you don't have like a social media or anything to go out to, you will be stuck, I think. Because what I tried to do when I started my project was to like stay away from everything. And it did not go as I expected to be. I wanted this to be like my source of work, and I was like, and no one calls me, no one does anything. And then a friend told me like, dude, you gotta like fake it till you make it. And I think that that fake it till you make it, it's like getting in the matrix and surf it, as Narek said it. Come on, you gotta go with it for a little bit, but being aware that you are being part of that kind of system matrix, communication, uh, surrounding, and I don't know, but it's also something that we have to escape every now and then. I don't feel like uh, super nice of being like super outside, look what I'm eating, look what I'm doing, but it's something that we have to like get on with it, because it's like going that way in terms of history and future. I guess, I don't know if from tomorrow on light would not exist anymore as electricity. I think it would be fucking fun, but it would be almost also the end of a lot of people. But I don't know. I think I got the thing that everything's coded got like in my mind, and I want to. Can you elaborate on that, Narek?
Oh, of course. I mean, even the words we use are codes, if you think
Yeah.
about it, because it goes into the subconscious, and some words stick, some don't. And like the people you talk to, they can have more emphasis on some feeling or some idea, and you could catch it like a virus, basically. You could like go
Barrows
home
said
and
that
like
language
have it
is a
in,
virus.
yeah. And you keep like overthinking about something, and then at the end of the day you're like, wait, holy shit, that this isn't me, this isn't how I think, so why is it stuck in my head so much? Yeah, but I think the art that we make is sort of like an act of rebellion in its way also,
See,
because it's all
totally.
data, it's all information, as you said, so we take it, we manipulate it however we want, and like we break it around into pieces, and then we mold those pieces back into art, basically. Uh, yeah, a lot of things I do with visuals is a lot of times I use like images taken from like basically a phone or something, and then I start to uh, manipulate the shit out. It's horrible, like what I do to those images. But it could be some beautiful flower, and then I make it into this like grime sort of alienish thing. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's sort of this response saying like, okay, you can give this information, but I can take it, I can process it, and I can throw it back at you something different, something completely outstanding, like just rather against the flow, I guess. So it's like the flaw in the flow, in a way.
Mm, the flow in the flow in the flow.
Yeah, yeah. I want to do a project with that name. It sounds nice.
See, totes.
And
And you
what you're
done?
saying with about the security, like that's the hook. That when I'm saying there's a bait, well, the security part is the hook.
Bait.
That's
Yes.
where it catches you completely, because
See.
it happened so many times in history, recent history actually. I don't know how they did it before, but they give you this false sense of like terror and like horrible things happening around you, and they're now give us everything we want,
Yes.
and people do it very fast, especially in like small countries like where I'm from, Armenia. It's just people are always constantly in fear, like of or a war or economics, or it's just something new comes up every day. Believe me,
Hmm.
and day by day, people are becoming more submissive, more. There's no reluctancy to give out information. It's just like, yeah, sure, if this helps me, then you just hand it out. Like even the street address or something, people give it much more freely right now.
Mm.
Like, what's your phone number? What's your street address? And these, I don't know, some telemarketer calls you on the phone, and they're like, yeah, we have a good, uh, cheap product we want to sell you. What's your address now?
Ah, okay.
Yeah, more than ever before, it seems like we, because social media conditions us to share everything about our lives on the internet.
Hmm.
I think that erodes our reluctancy to share things about ourselves in person, even the
Hmm.
most private part of our lives. It's just everything is open and transparent for
Hmm.
all people to see.
One thing I used to do, like I had this period where I would just overshare on social media with like just random thoughts that I had. Just here, have it. Like it's transparent, and like no one's gonna read it, right? But yeah, some people do, and then and then you kind of kind of feel like you're just throwing it back, like as I was saying, like an act of rebellion. Because like if that's the case where we're always being like monitored and watched, then there's no escaping it. So here, have at it.
Yeah, there's no point in resisting.
Yeah, and then it was kind of fun. The feeling was nice to just go on to Facebook, write up like huge status of like just these weird random thoughts you have.
Been there, been there.
Yeah.
I think we've all done that before. Hopefully that's all behind us, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I would love to talk more, but I wanted to keep this around an hour. So thanks for
Perfect.
everything. Thanks for your art. Thanks for your music. Thanks for your thoughts and your conversation. If you could one more time quickly just let people know where they can find you, and then we'll wrap this up.
Okay, Narek, you first.
All right. First of all, thank you for the platform. Thank you for the voice, and thank you for hosting this. It's an amazing project. I hope you do well.
Thank you.
Yeah, about the music, you can find it on SoundCloud with Otar, like how it's written, OTAR. Otar Sound. So yeah, that's the URL. But basically, Otar should find it also, I think. Yeah.
Awesome.
The rest.
And
Milagro?
yeah, I would also like to thank you for this opportunity. It's
Sure.
like the first time that I speak about my way of thinking, my way of
Nice.
working, or anything like openly. It's something that I talk with my friends or anything, but it's not something that you do every day. That you get the chance to like express yourself, explain how you think, and having a mask, and no one like asking why the mask in a not in a curious way, but just in a like
Yeah.
in a not in a good way. You can find me on Instagram. I'm MDC 1600 1600. Or if you look up Milagro de Catamarca in Instagram, I will be the first one, of course. Also on YouTube as Milagro de Catamarca, Facebook, and Twitch, Milagro de Catamarca. Everything is Milagro de Catamarca. Easy peasy.
Guys, can you see the chat?
Yes.
Can you enter your links in the chat? That would be even better for people to go
Yes.
straight there.
I'm going.
Thanks for asking, Elementality.
I can go to the Twitch one.
Sure, post everything. And I think each not the private chat. Can you see
Right.
I'm sorry, the comments? My bad. If you click on
Comments.
the right.
Okay.
Yeah. That way everyone on every platform will see where they can find you. I think you should be able to do that.
Oh, you have to
think
go
I can write it.
to the
Give access.
YouTube. Yeah, you have to go to the
Mhm.
access on YouTube or Twitch or anything.
Gotcha. Well,
Like,
you know
how
what?
do I write it here?
I'll write it for Narek here. So
All right.
that's something. This is the second time I'm doing this, so things to learn for next time.
You're a great man. You're a great host.
And you guys are
Thank
great
you.
too.
Thank you, Dar.
Hopefully we
Thank
get
you,
to do this
Narek.
again someday.
Thank you, Milagro.
All right. I'll see you later, guys.
See you. Bye.
Bye. All right. So that was our second show. Are we living in the Matrix? Is the universe just one big simulation? What if everything we thought we knew was nothing more than virtual reality? Ponder the answers to these questions and more next time on Glitch in the Matrix. Bye.